Electric vehicles EVs have been criticized for various reasons, including range anxiety, reliability issues, and high prices. However, these aren't the only concerns. Health is also an important issue. A frequent question on Reddit forums is, why do I feel sick in an EV? To better understand, let's count down the top 5 motion sickness problems related to electric cars. Let's start. Number 5. Motion sickness is a real problem. Reddit users claim that motion sickness is not a new issue. However, in conventional cars, it used to primarily affect passengers who couldn't anticipate the driver's movements, especially if they were aggressive. With EVs, the problem has intensified, and cases of motion sickness have become more frequent. According to reports on Reddit, even drivers are suffering as they struggle to adapt to the instant torque and regenerative braking. Let's look at some of the most interesting complaints posted recently on Reddit. For example, one user mentioned that he was considering buying a Model Y. He thought it was the ideal family car, practical and efficient. However, a simple test drive was enough to change his mind. I did a test drive yesterday and felt moderately nauseous afterward, he wrote. Another user, who frequently drives electric vehicles, concluded that the main cause of his motion sickness is regenerative braking. This same user also reported that he usually feels nauseous when he's in the passenger seat. He explained, I don't always have control over how the car is being driven, so when others drive, I really feel sick. I need to find a quick solution. Interestingly, humans aren't the only ones suffering from this. Some Reddit users have reported that their pets are also being affected by EVs. One user shared, since I got the Tesla, my dog vomits almost every time, ruining my carpets. It's tricky because city driving isn't new to him. I've been trying to drive smoothly, but it doesn't seem to help. Experts agree with these observations. Dr. V.J. Verrett, an ear, nose, and throat physician in Texas, explained that the brain creates an expectation of what should happen in certain situations. He pointed out that in combustion cars, the engine sound corresponds to the vehicle's movement. In an EV, however, the auditory and visual inputs do not align with the perception of movement, which can cause discomfort. Number 4. The lack of sound seems to be a major issue. Various studies have confirmed that the ability to anticipate movement is crucial for preventing motion sickness, and we do this in several ways. In combustion cars, sound plays an important role. When the driver accelerates, the increase in noise alerts our brain to prepare for more intense driving. In electric cars, the absence of sound makes it difficult to predict what will happen next. A study titled Knowing What's Coming, Anticipatory Auditory Cues Can Mitigate Motion Sickness revealed that the lack of sound is one of the main reasons why EVs can cause discomfort. The study showed that average sickness levels were significantly lower when there were informative auditory cues compared to the absence of these cues. This knowledge that auditory signals can improve the anticipation of movement is crucial for reducing sickness in autonomous vehicles. For example, in other words, our bodies are accustomed to the noise and vibration of gasoline cars, which helps us prepare for movement. With EVs, this doesn't happen, leaving our bodies unprepared for heavy accelerations and sudden changes in direction. This leads us to the conclusion that quieter doesn't necessarily mean more convenient and comfortable, as some believe to be an advantage of electric vehicles. For this reason, major manufacturers are trying to bring the driving experience of EVs closer to that of combustion cars. Many new models now emit artificial sounds that mimic exhaust noise, and some even have paddle shifters that simulate gear changes, although electric cars typically have a single-speed transmission. Number 3. Embedded screens also contribute to motion sickness. A feature of modern cars that many drivers and passengers do not appreciate is the absence of physical controls, replaced by digital controls on large screens. While ease of use and user experience are concerns, these digital controls are also one of the causes of motion sickness. EVs are particularly notable in this regard. If you look at the interiors of Teslas, for example, as well as those of other EVs, you'll see huge, computer-sized screens that dominate the dashboard. These screens are responsible for almost all of the car's functions. For passengers, this can be problematic because it's difficult to ignore these enormous screens. Instead of keeping their heads up and eyes on the road, passengers often look at these screens, making it harder to anticipate the vehicle's movements and contributing to motion sickness. Does this mean that EV manufacturers will stop installing such large screens? Probably not. This is not only because EVs rely heavily on modern technical features, but also because replacing physical controls with digital screens is an effective way to reduce production costs. Considering that nearly all car manufacturers are struggling to make a profit with EVs currently, this cost-cutting strategy is extremely important. Number 2. Regenerative braking is the biggest contributor to motion sickness. For years, we've heard about the numerous advantages of electric cars, such as one-pedal driving mode, which allows drivers to slow down a vehicle simply by easing off the accelerator. However, over time, drivers began to notice the drawbacks of this system, designed not only to make driving more convenient, but also to ensure regenerative braking. Regenerative braking generates force-through resistance when the accelerator pedal is eased off, helping to recharge the battery and extend the vehicle's range. However, for many drivers, there's a significant learning curve, requiring smoother pedal control. Unlike a binary switch, the accelerator pedal of an EV functions more like a potentiometer. The problem is that, due to lack of experience, many drivers end up making EV driving more aggressive compared to traditional braking, especially in stop-and-go traffic. Major EV manufacturers have already attempted to address this issue by offering adjustable regenerative braking systems with various settings. This allows drivers to sacrifice some range for smoother driving by decreasing the intensity of regenerative braking. Monica Jones, a research associate scientist at the University of Michigan Transportation Research Institute, specializes in motion sickness. She explained that one-pedal driving is a very different experience from combustion engines. According to her, even if you learn to drive effectively with one pedal, uncertainty in the environment, such as traffic, can still cause motion sickness. Number 1. Instant torque. Electric cars provide a completely different driving experience from internal combustion vehicles. With combustion cars, things are quite predictable as gasoline engines need time to generate power. When you step on the pedal, power and torque increase gradually as the engine accelerates. On the other hand, with electric motors, the response to the accelerator is instantaneous, making it harder for passengers to anticipate acceleration. Furthermore, modern electric cars often have powerful motors, providing a sensation of immediate torque when you step on the accelerator. Both passengers and drivers are not accustomed to this feeling of instant power, making it even more difficult to anticipate acceleration, leading to discomfort and motion sickness. Matt Farah, editor-at-large of Rad and Track, highlighted that the combination of these factors is problematic. According to him, the way an electric motor delivers power and the absence of sound are what make you feel queasy when accelerating quickly. Car manufacturers are trying to address this issue in various ways, including offering different driving modes with varied acceleration responses. For example, Honda engineers are working on power maps that would ensure smoother driving at low speeds. The idea is to adjust the accelerator map to emulate the acceleration of a combustion vehicle, with a typical delay in power and gradual acceleration. This may help reduce the discomfort caused by the immediate torque of electric cars. However, it's still unclear whether passengers will actually feel any practical benefit from this revision. Only time will tell. Thank you for watching, and until next time.